Hello YouTube, what is good? Here we are, the second one this year, and it's all about calibration. Should you calibrate? Why would you calibrate? And more important, how to calibrate your own monitors. Let's roll that intro and let's dive straight into more about how to do this all. So, calibration. Why would you calibrate your screens if everybody is seeing all the images on mobile devices nowadays? Well, that's pretty simple. You want to make sure that your own images are what you want them to look, and make sure that when you print your images, what comes out of the printer is what you intended to be and not something different in color. I've got two monitors myself, both 27-inch monitors, and they work perfectly together. The only problem I have with them is the following. They are completely different brands. One is an Iliama and the other one is an LG. On top of that, I have one big Samsung television screen hanging up for the models so that they can see what they are doing when I'm shooting tethered, what images we are creating. A total of 3 different screens, so how to get the perfect calibration on those 3 screens. I've always had a spider from Datacolor for my calibration, but recently I've changed to the X-Rite series because the other one was broken, so calibrating with it would only cause issues when it comes to colors. Also, because of the age, it's about 10 years or something, it's better to renew once in a while so you can stay on top of your game, and new technology means most of the time quicker calibration. Now, there are 2 major players out there. I've mentioned them before, but one is Datacolor and the other one is X-Rite. I've just bought myself the new X-Rite i1 Display Pro and hooked it up to my system. Nothing too crazy, and for sure nothing to be afraid if you want to calibrate. This one is a bit more expensive. This one is about 199 euros, but yeah, it's worth the money because it has an ambient meter in it. Now, how does it all work? You just unpack the box, you install the software first. I've downloaded the software from their website and installed it. Rebooted my system and was ready to go. Now, in the package you receive a CD, but nowadays most of the computers, they don't have any CD readers anymore, so it's just best to download them from the website immediately so you have the up-to-date version about it. How does it all work? You start up the software, then it asks you to register the device and software by just plugging it in a free USB port, and you follow along the software. You get to choose between the normal, standard calibration and the more advanced calibration. For myself, I was more than happy to use the standard calibration and just follow along what the steps of the program tells you, and you will just be fine. You just place the calibration in the middle of your screen. There's a counterweight attached to it, so you can let it hang as a counterweight and have your calibration device be plugged in the center of the screen. In the beginning, it measures the brightness and contrast levels of your screen, and then it tells you how to adjust it if it needs to be brighter or darker. And then the calibration starts. At the end of the calibration, it gives you the possibilities to see a before and after, and oh boy, what a difference. You will be amazed. You'll be surprised of what results might come out of it. I've done the same process on all my screens, and yes, finally the same images on all screens. No longer a more yellow cast on images on the right screen or a darker image on the right and a brighter on the left. Just perfect on both screens. Another important thing that most people forget is these calibration devices have an ambient measuring system in them. What does this mean? If you have it, it is to check your environment regularly, so you can adjust the brightness so it can automatically adjust the brightness of your screen. So if, for instance, you're retouching or doing editing in a dark room, this sensor can adjust the brightness of the screen so that your eyes will interpret the colors differently than a normal one. Now, the way we see something in a brighter or a darker environment influences the way we see or perceive tonal values in images. Just a small reminder, if you borrow one from one of your co-photographers, this is something to keep in mind. The continuous ambient measuring. Now, back to the why. Why is it so important to calibrate? Well, first off, you want to make sure that if you have to create images for clients, that the blue you see is the same blue as the dress. Another important thing is printing. When you print images or send images out for printing to a lab, you don't want them to return having a completely different color scheme than the one you had intended it to be. It's a small investment for yourself as a photographer or even as a videographer, because this applies to everything. Not just images, but also video footage that you want to color tone. Make sure that your base is calibrated, and then from there you can do whatever you want with your images. If you guys got questions about this, let me know below about calibrating. If you got questions about how it all works, just let me know. And if you got a calibrated setup yourself, feel free to let me know what you're using, how you're using it below. And that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed, and then I'll see you when I see you. Ciao, ciao.